Hello, welcome back. So before we went on a break, we wanted to make yet another very, very important point. And that was on, you call it polyamorous.
Yeah, polyamorous, yeah.
And this was about the social and the sexual health in life to prevent cancer. And so we had a discussion about, men in the West and the African man.
Yeah.
Where men who have multiple partners have made the women most at risk to have the cervical cancer. And I thought that the women know how to keep the place, but the men are the ones who go fetching this thing and bringing it home. But you think differently.
Yeah.
I wonder why, yet I guess that is the truth.
Yeah. I think we are as human beings, we are sexual beings, okay? And because we're sexual beings, it means that how people relate with each other and things like that. There's some form of attraction that sometimes leads to sometimes sexual intercourse, right? Now, for our setting. Sex has always been, as I grew up, has always been left to the premise of a marriage, or for procreation. Okay, but the world has changed in that, and especially for human beings, sex is also part of communication. Sex is also sex is a trade. We have sex workers.
Oh, yes.
Yes, yeah.
It's a trade.
It's a trade, yes. People can use sex to get a job. People can use sex to get money, whatever it is. So it's become also a trade.
I know.
And also, sex has become also part of entertainment. Okay? It's also become part of entertainment. So things have changed in that regard.
I know.
Okay? And because it has changed in that regard, and that's what I was saying, the idea that sex was just for procreation has ceased to exist. And because it has ceased to exist, people are much more free to engage in very casual sex, okay? Because it's no longer about getting a baby or not. Okay?
It's no longer reserved for the marriage.
Yes. So and therefore, having sexual wellness as one thing that people embrace very important, from a very young age. So parents need to be able to have open conversation and tell kids, if at all you're gonna have this kind of relationship with someone and you're not sure about them, you just need to protect yourself. Okay? So always have protection. So we need to start it early, and that's why I'm saying we need to address this from where it starts.
Because now abstinence doesn't work.
Yes, abstinence it doesn't work. It's not something that we can say is better than using protection.
You cannot push.
Initially
for
we
that
used to,
and get results.
Yes. We cannot say it's the only one. Is the one that is better than the other. It's not. But it's one of the ways. Okay. What is the sexual debut in Kenya? 13 years, around 13, 14 years. The thing is that we hide we hide our heads in the sand, especially in our setting. And that's the other thing I wanted to say, is that we hide our heads in the sand because these things are happening. And that is why for cervical cancer, we are saying if you do have a daughter, a niece, okay, or who is 14 years old, they need to be vaccinated, okay, against this virus. Because once they start sexual activity, they're likely to be exposed.
And they will not tell you that they are in.
And it will be difficult to contain the virus later. They have to get multiple shots.
I like what you said when we were in the break, that the hormonal clock for the man is renewed daily.
Yes.
But for the woman, it's monthly.
Yes.
I mean, that was so humorous because as you wait, because I was accusing the man for being the one who moves around, collecting the virus and bringing to the woman, since you said that is where it comes from. But I understand that after you said that it is that your clock turns every day.
Yeah.
So then it means you cannot have your guards on. You let it out every day. You are on and you are ready to. And you said, you know, the attraction that you would have maybe with a woman or a man would lead you to. And you also gave different ways that sex have now spread into.
Yeah.
While it was just known for procreation, now it's even there for entertainment and it's there for trade. So a man has a woman back at home, but because they're kind of trade, they're kind of entertainment. I mean, it is such a sad state and place to be in, but it's the reality. And so what should people do?
Self-control.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Did you just
important.
say that?
Yeah, self-control is very important. And what makes us not have self-control? Alcohol and drugs. Okay. So I advise most of most of people who I see like for wellness, if you're going to have sex, make sure you're not drunk or you're not under the influence. The problem is when one is drunk and is under the influence, they are likely to be much more free, especially for those who are not free having conversation. So when they take something, they feel like they are much more free now. They can talk. They can, they're not shy and things like that. So one needs to always have self-talk. If you know that you always have to take something to have a proper conversation, always have self-talk then. Talk to yourself in the morning, in the mirror, so that you have that confidence. You can speak with confidence about yourself, so that when you say no, it's no. Things like those.
Okay, Dr. Steve, how do you just say self-control?
It's true.
After all that you have said.
You see,
After all that you have said, you have left your wife at home.
Yes.
You have met with this beautiful girl on the streets who is telling you whatnots and sweet nothings.
Yes.
And you are getting the desire and the attraction. What is self-control here?
Self-control.
This is
self-control is because
this is entertainment.
Yeah.
You are watching this entertainment. I mean, everything around you is so leading. How do you tell someone to have self-control?
Because the biggest sex organ is the mind.
But how do you just show up and say, don't do?
Don't do. How do you show up? And it's very hard to, and that's why sexually transmitted infections are difficult to control.
And that's why we are asking for what is a lasting solution. How then can we prevent this? How do we solve this? Because we have understood from your explanation that things and times have changed.
Yes.
And we can no longer, put a gun and say, thou shalt not, So how then do we go about it? You have given us the solution of the HPV.
Yes.
And we are going to create awareness for the girls about that.
Yeah.
But now for these men who go doing that, for the girls who were not vaccinated, does this vaccine also work for women who are older?
Yes, it does.
It does?
Yeah, but they have to take multiple injections.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do we do with the men?
We're also saying right now, once we vaccinate all the girls, we'll vaccinate the boys.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just vaccinate the boys. It's because girls are more likely to get a cervical cancer. So when we've reached a critical mass and behavior has changed, then we can be able now to vaccinate the boys too.
But this thing is not mandatory, and it's not like a BCG.
Yes.
I have to bring myself.
True.
And bringing myself means I have the awareness, and I am also concerned about the other person because I don't know who I'm going to sleep with that is going to give me the virus and I take it to somebody else.
Yes.
So how are we going to make it like a BCG? How are we going to ensure that this product has reached people? It's a good thing. If it's not applied, it's not helpful.
So right now there's a campaign by the government. The vaccine is free of charge. In health facilities. All you need, take your daughter, your niece at the facility and ensure that at least they get the vaccine. All right, okay? Only one injection and maximum 2 depending on the type of vaccine, okay? Now, we need to have champions. And we've seen sad situations where prominent people were also in the media industry who died of cervical cancer, right? Yeah. So you see, that was a very opportune moment to be able to champion and rally as many women as possible to take their daughters. And then right now in the West, they've started vaccinating women over the age of 30 now. And those were over the age of 40. Yeah.
But it's not mandatory.
It's not mandatory. For most vaccines that are beyond the 5-year period, like the first 5 years, cannot be made mandatory. It's very difficult, unless it's for a public health issue like travel. So for example, like yellow fever and things like that. Those ones will be made mandatory if you have to travel because it's a public health concern. Yeah.
We are unfortunately out of time.
Okay.
And we need to end right here.
Yes.
But before then, even as you give your parting shot, there are lots of myths that people have come up with.
Yes.
The HPV has not been there just now. It came some time back.
Yes.
And it had a lot of controversial issues.
Yes.
And people came up and said that this is something to make the girls infertile.
Yes.
That you guys wanted to reduce the population, and because you could not stop people from having sex and procreation, you decided to bring this on board so that you make all the girls of reproductive age infertile. Please clarify that even as you give us your parting shot so that we have the boldness and the confidence to again walk into your clinics for this vaccine, having now known the importance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think the vaccines have that effect. However, most vaccines and medical products usually have to undergo what we call investigational tests. You know, where we test them in the lab, test them on animals that are similar to human beings, from guinea pigs to primates, and then we test them on a normal population, a healthy population. After that, we test them now on people who may have the target condition that we want. So it takes almost 8 to 10 years by the time. That's why the COVID vaccine had a bit of an issue, because the timing was very short, okay? It takes almost 8 to 10 years by the time a drug or vaccine is being brought to the market, okay? So by that time, then we know the safety profile. And usually the people who are on the board of what we call the safety, the safety committee for any drug or vaccine, usually are people who do not have any vested interests. So if they see that this is something that is injurious to the population, they would stop it, and they are mandated to stop it, okay? So that is there. So by the time a vaccine is in the market, just know it has taken almost 8 to 10 years for it to reach there, and the safety profile will be looked at. However, there's usually also what we say that certain people reacted differently during the trial of the vaccine, okay? And I've looked at most cases. Usually infertility is not one of those. So that a reaction like maybe a swelling or an allergic reaction or a fever or things like those, okay? And those are usually things that are going to be documented, and they'll put mitigation measures in the event that happens. So if at all that vaccine causes that, we wouldn't still be having women flocking our facilities delivering babies. I don't think so. I do not think so. Yes.
Because they didn't have the vaccine.
No, I do not think so.
Parting shot.
My parting shot. My parting shot is that prevention is a start of cure. For majority of cancers, we can prevent it when we know how to screen, when we know the lifestyle we need to choose. When you prevent, when you have the knowledge of what are the risks that you have, then you're much more empowered. So prevention is a start of cure.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Steve. It was really, really important and educative having you on our show today on Health Talk. My name is Betty Akuku. I have been your host, and I hope that you have taken notes of having your fruits and vegetables as a very strong preventive measure to cancer of the breasts and cervical for the women especially. Please note, keep your body at the pH level of 7.4 alkaline. Thank you. See you next time.